Hello YouTube, this is Scarecrow Kaiser. I'll be doing my deck profile here of my Nova Grappler Breakride Stern. So, get started. For our trigger lineup, we got 4 heal, 4 draw, and our 8 crit. Pretty standard. Running Red Lightning, obviously, because he has a useful skill. Onto the starter. We're using Transmigration Evolution. He's your typical Counterblast 1. Mood of the Soul, look at your top 5 for a grade 3, add it to hand. He's useful in this deck to, obviously other than he helps make sure you don't misride by if you don't have a grade 3 looking for one. He can make sure we get the Breakride first, or if we have the Breakride, get the other grade 3 we need. So, he's pretty skilled. Onto the grade 1s. We have our standard 4 Perfect Guard Twin Bladers. We have our 4 8K Boost Tough Boys. He is kind of, well, he combos in this deck with 2 other cards, which I'll get to that in a little bit. Then we have our 2 Clay Dolls to unflip damage, be a solid boost at 7. Then we have our 2 Shouts, solid booster and can early game like fish out what you need so you don't misride. And then last we have 2 Rocket Hammerman. Rocket Hammerman combos with the Tough Boy and Stern. I'll be talking about that in a little bit. Gonna get on to the grade 2s first. Alright, so let's start here with our 4 Blaukluger. He's part of the ride chain, even though you're not running the full ride chain. He'll make sure that when you eventually do get the Stern, you'll be an 11. And he's a great turn 2 Vanguard ride. Because he unflips damage. So when you use your turn 2, you'll ride Blaukluger. Use him, look for your grade 3, attack with Blaukluger, and then you can unflip the damage. Then we have our 3 Brutal Jacks. He's a solid 11k beating grade 2, so he should be able to swing at least something, being that he's an 11. And turn 2, if you call him as a rear guard, and you could always unflip that damage with him. And then last of our grade 2s, we got our 4 10k King of Sword. The grade 2 lineup is all beat sticks instead of like Kiraras and stuff, because this deck, to do what it's got to do, it's got to be able to have its front wing units be able to hit things unboosted. I'll get to that in a little bit. And then for our grade 3s, we have our 4 Ethics Buster, our Breakride. And then we have our 4 Heart of the Deck, Stern Blaukluger. You should know this card if you don't know it already. Because it's very threatening, and this card has played a lot of, been a very influential card. People know of it, people respect it in general, I guess. Not everyone does, but I would think you should. This card's good. I believe in when this game was fairly new, like within its first year, this card ended up winning Australian Nationals. Alright, so to get into the deck a little bit more, in reference to Stern and the Tough Boy I mentioned, and the Rocket Hammerman, what you're going for is, and this is a very well known thing, other people have talked about it, you're teaming up Stern when you've got the Blaukluger and Soul, so he's an 11, with Tough Boy to make 19, and you have a Rocket Hammerman rearguard. You can have Rocket Hammerman rest himself and give +2 your Stern, so that Stern and Tough Boy now swing for 21, so you're hitting that next stage with Stern. Now when doing this and using the Rocket Hammerman, your rear guard and front won't be able to hit that next stage. However, you're making stern hit the next stage, so you're trading one stage for the next. And obviously stern, with his ability to restand when he hits, is more threatening and a little bit more important. But because we've only got the 2 Rocket Hammer Mans, it's not something we're super reliant on. So this combo isn't a go-to every time, but if it happens, it happens. Especially in those games where instead of getting to ride your Breakride first, you had to ride stern. So this is a backup plan to make your deck a little bit relevant. So I'm going to show you like the deck's main goal. Basically, it's a winning image, as I guess you could call it, quote quote. So what you're going to aim for is going to be something like, you want Ethics Buster on the Vanguard, then you want some beefy rear guards next to him, and you want some boosters down here. Now the way you do it is you're going to go for Breakride stern, give them that +10. You're going to swing with your rear guards, unboosted, and take out, if they have any, their interceptors, or go after the Vanguard or pick off rear guards. Then you'll swing with stern for a pretty good number, like in this case it would be like 29. Attacking makes your rear guard stand up. Now your opponent kind of has to block this. If they don't, they're going to get in more trouble. But because this is so good, as you're going to see, even if the opponent's at like 3 or 2 and they feel like it's safe to take it, you can put a lot more pressure on them than they probably expected. So let's say they don't block it, or they can't. So then you counterblast, discard, restand your stern. Then you go swing with my rear guard again, unboosted. Swing with my rear guard again, unboosted. Attack for the second time with stern. These stand back up again because of the Breakride. You can see where this is going now. And then if they don't block it, you could restand them again and keep going. And then after you're all said and done, then you'll, when you've gone through your trigger checks and stuff, then you'll go for your final boosted attacks for the rear guard. So, like, it's not unreasonable, and I've actually done it where I've gamed someone even though they were only at 2 because of how aggressive and continuous attacks this deck can go when you pull off its combo right. So that's it for this deck. It seems pretty straightforward. You gotta learn to play it right. It's not that hard though. It's very fun when you get it off. The look on people's face when they figure out what you were trying to do and you actually get it off, they're usually like, wow, that's really cool. Yeah, so that's it for this. Thank you for watching.